Welcome back to Ultimate Dragon Ball Comic Studio, and this is going to be the second part of this video, and probably the last time it was probably for 2 days ago. I'm not pretty sure. The last time it was probably over 20 minutes of this video, but right here in this part 2, we have already checked out one of the backgrounds like anything what I never seen like this before. And especially, we find it all the way here from the user submitted sprites. And I might gonna be making for this one more video before I might going to be sleeping a little bit as well. It's late at 3 a.m. that I just recorded right over here. And one thing that we just probably going to be at 20 minutes for all of those types and for some kind of like these things as well. The items like themselves could be for any of those props, many effects, and finally the background images, probably located around here in northeast for some kind of this thing as well. Which means it's absolutely for like this, like anyways as well. I'm not gonna be say the J word like anything as well anymore. That since I won't be saying for this thing as well. And we're not yet to be able to be forget, Ultimate Dragon Ball is owned by Akira Toriyama, thanks to the Division art and the Google sprites, and for some sort of the Dragon Ball as well, including for around here as Toriyama and Toyotaro for the Dragon Ball series and video games as well. Even for that I just sensed that was probably even located in Japan as anyways, and some locations probably for not just right here. It was just some kind of another planet or some kind of the unknown planet from the other kinds of universe. And I'm not gonna be definitely that we find around here. I'm probably sure that any other kinds of like this won't be necessary as well, because every background wasn't going to be a kind of thing as well. So let's try to find anything as well. But submitted sprites, I guess. Let's try submitted sprites as we came from as anyways. I'm not going to be wearing for a round of those things as anyways. So it's a little bit small sprites, but things have just looking a little bit bigger. And there's a little bit more. And more again. Yep, that must be actually for one thing as well. So, what's that? That must be Girato Joko. Oh gosh, no, oh my gosh. I remember for some kind of for a ridiculous time since back in 2020, and it was probably ridiculous. I didn't mean to find out since back in 2019, and I never expect it was. I was back in 2021, and I definitely seeing this thing whenever that for some kind of memes and other stuff. And yes, we shouldn't be able to be finding for some user comics whatsoever. And there's a little bit more, but things are might going to be getting a little bit for this thing as well. So everything is absolutely for the game version, and perhaps things are just gonna be, oh, that must be it. This is a little bit for 16 bits as well. And there must be almost, oh my gosh, that was a big one. Oh my gosh. That must be for the icons, and probably that was the entire submitted sprites like anything as well. The submitted sprites of the other kinds of these things could be only one, and is known as the planet Namek, which is actually for this one. The effects could be limited as well. That must be a dragon first prop. And the comic sign as well. The action lines and the tension lines. The beam and the cards. The art cards. Probably this is essentially for some kind of the ninja powers. And finally the backgrounds within submitted sprites, which can close the versus screen. which is I wouldn't able to be added for some kind of automobiles as well, or the police cruiser. Inside Goku's Black Tornado, and his house, the hip flame of the Kamehameha charging, the hit flame of for the Kamehameha, the hit flame for Kamehameha, and another hit flame for this thing as well. Even for though that was actually for this thing. So that was all the submitted sprites, and we might absolutely going to find out that I just going to be created a little bit of one as well. So the first thing we need to add a little bit, I'm not going to be completely satisfied with this, and I'm not going to be doing for something strategy as well. So let's start it from over here, and even here, and the next one for some kind of an Indian location as well. So probably looks like He-Man as well. I might not going to be seeing this comic studio around here from another one as He-Man Comic Studio. It wasn't probably exist, and I couldn't able to be finding here. I just tried. And there must be the park, and the City of Ruins, and even other kinds of like this thing as probably not anyways as well. That must be the gaming backgrounds. And the first thing is the animated backgrounds. Wait, where is the animated backgrounds? I'm not pretty sure that what exists for it to do this as well. So this is the animated background for this thing as well. At the middle of the mountain that I'm pretty sure that I just wanted to find out. So I'll be right back on this video until I just going to be finishing up just a bit. Before another video is going to be Dragon City, we just completely added a round of Cookie Run and South Park stuff, such as Caminos and the main characters as well, for probably as well. And we added 2 automobiles as in 1 as well, including 3 Hot Wheels cars on another corner as well. So even nothing is possible that we just try to say like this. And I might going to be end of this video as well, since it's going to be into the same description down below as of this video at the last part from 20 minutes for this time as well. And of course we added for a blimp and a chopper as the RSN and a NASCAR racing series like this thing as well. There must be a Lightyear blimp over here flying across, and another one could be the chopper itself, which is actually for one thing that close target around of some kind of drivers who might going to be racing each other to the top as well. And I'm not going to be pretty sure this isn't going to be exactly for the expectation as well, not the reality. It was everything frictional as well, that located right here as well. So even added Cookie Run characters like themselves. Or maybe should we start the cars, such as that you cannot see any cars as well. And you know, you might able to say that must be Dodge Ram 3500 from the 2000. This is a 2003 Dodge Ram 3500. And these cars could be for the Hot Wheels cars as well, such as the Night Shifter and the Black Monster as well, for some kind of tuner for unknown reasons that I never able to be saying. And right next to Night Shifter was the Lotus Esprit. Yep, that must be the featured Hot Wheels car, but I didn't actually collect it yet. Unfortunately, that must be too expensive for these cars, like I guess. And as you can see, that must be featuring in the game from Hot Wheels Race Off from 2016 of the Android or some kind of tablets or mobile devices. And these cars that called it for the GMC Terrain written as well, besides of another person as well, including the side of the car could be for a buttercream choco cookie. There's no cookies around here, it's just off-roading the dust with Mercury Grand Mountaineer. And on this thing as well, from the countryside, out of the scenery as well, probably added Rebel Cookie, including Adventure Cookie and Werewolf Cookie. It was besides of like this thing as well. As you know, that Adventure Cookie was absolutely referenced or related to Indiana Jones. But in the fight as well, perhaps, that must be Dark Choco Cookie battling against Purple Yam Cookie for being trespassing through the mountains as well. Even though he came to take his soul gem out of sight as well, that his heart of this thing as well. Red Velvet Cookie is challenging for a battle with Fire Spirit Cookie. And expect that must be Magma Cookie is roaming around here onto this volcano. So that must be probably it for today's video, and I cannot believe that was actually going to be something like I just tried to say as well. So don't forget, the link is going to be in the description below, and we're going to be wrapping up for today's video as well. So and the link is going to be in the description to browse some comics, expect ad pop-ups, and many more that you don't want to recommend it to see, like any of these cringe stuff as well, that sometimes they might going to be getting sued in the future as well, sometimes as well. Thanks for watching, for all your support, and I gotta be see you mini lads, comic studio users, and fellow viewers all later, and I'll be see you next time in 2 days, and have a nice day that I just tried to say like anything about.